right, so we are at one of my favorite things to talk about with bloggers, and that is naming and creating a brand for your blog. And I'm so excited about this part because this is the name and the brand that's going to kind of stick with your blog throughout the years unless you decide to change it. Like we talked about in the previous lesson, you want to sit down and think about something that you're passionate about or something that's related to your brand or your product, and create that brand name for your blog. Now, if you already have a website, you already have product, everything is already set, this doesn't apply to you, but we will talk about branding a little bit later. But as far as naming your blog, you just want something simple, easy to remember, and like I previously said, that you can say it to someone and they can do a quick Google search and they can find it and it's related to your topic, your keywords that you're going after. So something you can do is if you see a domain name that's available that has a particular keyword in it that's not too hard, such as, I can give an example in my own niche. There is a website called the Disney Food Blog. Obviously, by that, you know what they talk about. They're a blog that talks about Disney food. So anytime someone is Googling Disney food, guess who website pops up on the homepage? And it may even beat out Disney. If Disney is not 1 or 2, that blog is most likely on the top 5 searches if you type Disney food. Now, that's just one example. Let's just say you are into finance and you want to have a website that talks about cheap flights to Florida. I'm just coming off the top of my head. These sites may be taken, and all you want to do is just to give people travel deals about coming to Florida. You love flying. You know a lot of things about flying, and you saw an opportunity to serve some of those keywords that no one was serving. So you could do cheapflightstoflorida.com. I mean, how easy is that to tell someone, yeah, I write about going to Florida for cheap, and one of my websites is called Cheap Flights to Florida. That's very simple, easy to remember. So those are some of the things you want to think about when naming your website. Another thing is when it comes to branding, it's going to take some years to kind of find your place, and that's okay. That's okay. But what you want to do at the beginning is to decide what type of tone do you want to have for your blog. Are you someone who wants to have a more professional tone? Do you want to have a blog where you are more warm, friendly? You like to sit there and talk to someone like you're having a one-on-one conversation with them on the phone? Or do you want to have a blog that is very technical and you just say, here are the facts, here are the details, this is what we're about? It's all about the branding and the tone of your writing, the presentation of your website, whether it's nice and clean or colorful, whatever it happens to be, the font, everything is going to correlate to the branding of your blog, which is just as important to figuring out the type of keywords. You want people, when they come to your website, what's the first impression? Is your blog easy to find? Are things on your blog easy to find? Can you go up to the tab? It's very clean at the top of your tab. And then when you go to the homepage, does the homepage speak to the person? Does your homepage help solve the problem for the reader coming to your website? A lot of that stuff has to take into account, and you're going to even have to spend some time focusing on your About Me page. A lot of that stuff we're going to get into in the details in this course, but I just wanted to help you understand about the importance of getting your brand name together and not just something that's clever. You want to be clear, not clever, because when I started my blog, I was a big Harry Potter fan, and I wanted to first name my blog Magical Me. It doesn't make any sense. You don't know what it means. I just know I like Harry Potter and I like theme parks. So I think somebody will understand Magical Me. But at the end of the day, I just went with theme park hipster. It was very simple because I felt like it embodied my love for theme parks. And I felt like I was a hipster. You know, I like to go there. I didn't like to do the average things that people did. I didn't go with kids. I like to go on my solo trips. I like to sit there and drink and people watch and read a book. So I just felt like my vibe of a theme park was way different from everybody else. But at the end of the day, be clear, not clever, and you'll have a great first impression for your blog. And just always keep your branding in mind as you continue to grow with your blog, the colors, but don't become too obsessive about the branding at the beginning. Just make sure that you're writing great content, having great keyword research, having a great blog name. And those are the best ways to start. But first, I want to make sure I mention this before we go to the next level, is to check your name on a site like Bluehost or GoDaddy. Check your name to make sure the domain name is not taken. The worst thing you want to do is fall in love with a name and then it's taken. And you want to also make sure that you do a check on social media platforms to also make sure that name is not taken, so that you can have that name and you can have the website domain name. You want to check Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, everybody, just to make sure that your blog name is not taken before you go ahead and purchase it.